Hello everyone and welcome to the big match build-up show. West Ham United take on Everton at the London Stadium today. The race for top four is on. It's a 4:30 kickoff. Now, as you can see, usually I'm joined by my co-host Scott, but today, 4 o'clock this morning, his wife gave birth to their second son. So, yeah, he's having the afternoon off. So I've got Nicky working double shift today. He's going to join me before the watch-along. But yeah, congratulations to Scott and Samantha.
Congratulations. I think he's taking a piss, to be quite honest with you. But
yeah,
no, absolutely. I'm absolutely over the moon for him. Obviously, Scott's like a brother to us. So, yeah, there's a new member of the West Ham Fan TV family today, and we're over the moon.
But, well, as you're sitting in for him, mate, you can take us through the starting lineup. The teams are out.
Yeah, I've just got it up on the phone here. I'm just going to pick it back up. It's Fabianski, Sufal, Dawson, Diop, which I find very strange seeing as Ogbona's back in the squad. Cresswell, Souček, Fornals, Lanzini, and up top is Lingard, Benrahma, and of course Mikel Antonio. Substitutes, I don't know whether you normally do that, but Randolph, Fredericks, Johnson, Ogbonna, Balbuena, Coventry, Bowen, Yarmolenko, and Odebeku.
Yeah, no Declan Rice on the bench today. There was a lot of rumours that he was going to be in the squad today. But, yeah, same starting lineup, mate. We sort of called it on Friday night, didn't we, that if Declan Rice wasn't fit, then we have to go with the same team.
Yeah, I think so. I think we played well enough, Ryan. I think we played well enough in that game to, I maybe would have been tempted with Ogbonna, but that's the way the manager wants to go. The manager's obviously seen something in Diop in training, or he's seen something in Ogbonna to say that he can't put him straight back in. So he's gone with Diop, which you've got to respect, because my thoughts are you never change a winning team.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate, and I'm happy with the lineup today. I'm looking forward to seeing Fornals, Lingard, Benrahma, and Antonio go up against that Everton defence today. It's going to be one hell of a game. Massive game for us. I mean, they're all big, but when you get to this stage of the season, results the weekend have gone for us. Tottenham losing. The only result was obviously yesterday, Chelsea winning at City, but Leicester losing at home to Newcastle on Friday night was probably the surprise result of the weekend.
Well, I think that's... I've always sort of reiterated as well, but Leicester, although they've had a couple of good results, they're not out of reach because of their running at the end. I've been looking at, they've got Man United, Chelsea, and I think they play each other in a couple of weeks' time, and I think they've got Tottenham at the last game of the season. So yeah, I think that Leicester was the target all along. Although it looks a little bit sketchy a couple of weeks ago when we've lost a couple of games in a row. And they're 7 points clear. I always felt I didn't think they'd lose yesterday, to be quite honest with you. But they got beat. They've been a bit ropey at home.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Because I know we say this every week, and I still find it mad that we're actually got something to play for this season at the right end of the table. And a win today puts us 2 points behind Leicester. And Leicester at the moment, they must have the FA Cup final in the back of their mind, because you look at their results over the last few weeks, and that was a damaging defeat at home to Newcastle. And then, Chelsea yesterday, I mean, if it wasn't for Aguero scores that penalty, I think Chelsea lose the game. So
yeah,
but we're chasing Leicester. We're chasing them foxes down. We're the fox catchers.
Yeah. At the end of the day, right? We've got we've got 4 games left. Get the points on the board, and then worry about what the others are doing afterwards, because I'm sure they'll slip up. I think you're right there in what you say, is that Leicester have got the cup final in their minds, whereas Leicester, Chelsea are, they took the opposite stance. Is that they think winning games going into these cup finals, because they've got cup finals as well, is the way to go, which is always the way to go. But when you get a team like Leicester who don't make it to cup finals that often, sometimes you can find that their eye comes off the ball a little bit, and they're going to be thinking about cup final when there's 50-50 challenges and potential sort of booking situations and all that. There's a lot of players there that don't want to miss cup finals. They don't get them that often, like even though Leicester are a really good side. So, yeah, there's an opportunity there. There's an opportunity there. But let's get the points on the board for us. And whatever happens. I think if we win today, we're guaranteed European football, which is massive. Like even Europa League or even Conference League is huge for us.
Yeah, you're right, mate. Look, if we got in the Europa League, that would be more than what any of us would have thought we would have been getting at the beginning of the season when we lost on the opening day to Newcastle. But look, if we do manage to get the points today, it puts the pressure and it puts a nice little gap between us and Everton, because I think we'll be 9 points clear of them if we win today. I think it'll put us 4 clear of Liverpool. I think it's 5 or 6. I think it's 5 clear of Tottenham. So we start building a little gap between these teams. But today is obviously, you're right. We've got to get these 3 points today. Massive game.
Absolutely. To be honest, and this is no disrespect to Everton, because I think Everton are a wonderful team as well. But they've been a bit ropey of late. You know what I mean? And they've looked a little bit like they're on the beach. You know, they don't look up for the fight. And it all depends how we come out. If we come out all guns are blazing, I've got no sort of, what's the word? I've got no reservations about putting my neck on the line and say we'll beat these today.
Yeah, I mean, what we do, me and Scott do, we'll focus a little bit on Everton now. Look at their team, look at their key players, and then we're sort of getting to West Ham and look how we're going to win this game. And so let's get the Everton team up here. They've gone for a back five, a bit of a similar formation to what we play, really. Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, you know, they're key players for them. You know, but at the back, their midfield strong. It's going to be a big battle in midfield today. But they've gone Pickford, Coleman on the right, Godfrey, Mina, and Keane in the centre, Digne on the left, Davis, Allen, and Sigurdsson in the middle, and then Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison up top. Richarlison sort of floats about, doesn't he? So Calvert-Lewin going to play up top on his own. But strong team from Everton. But as you said, mate, they're a bit hit and miss, in there, and I'm surprised, because at the beginning of the season they were strong contenders. People were touting them for the top 4 because I think they won their first few games. Ancelotti brought in some good players, and they was playing some really good football. But since the turn of the year, they've just sort of been in and out. They win one week, they lose the next. It's just like that. They don't get a little bit of form.
They've got, as you say, they've got some wonderful players. We've been lucky of late, because we've had players that just come in and hit the ground running. I think every player this season, I don't think there's one that you can say has struggled. You know, Lingard's coming in, hit the ground running. Dawson's coming in, hit the ground running. That's sometimes where you struggle. I mean, I know we're going to talk about him in a bit, but like the players like Allen, brilliant in Italy. They've got to have time to settle, and they've lost too many games at home, and that's where they've struggled. Everton is that they got off to a flying start. Calvert-Lewin was absolutely magnificent at the beginning of the season. I think he scored 10 goals in the first 10 games or something like that. It was something crazy. Since then, he's scored 5 for the rest of the season, which you seen players, like I think Pookie from Norwich last year done the same thing. Absolute flyer, got off to can't stop scoring, and all of a sudden it just sort of dries up a little bit for them players. But don't get me wrong, I made the graphics today, so I've seen the stats. In the air, he's a massive threat, and that's where we've got to keep our eye on him, because I think he scored half of his goals as headed goals, and Diop has got the tendency of his position is not great, I'm wondering.
We'll go through the key players that I've picked out this week. We usually do 3, but I'll give you 4 just in case one weren't playing. But lo and behold, they're all playing. They're all starting today, so we're going to put all 4 up. So we'll start with the first one. Gylfi Sigurdsson, as you can see there, 31 games, 6 goals, shots 33, actually 33%. Assists 4, and his key passes 4. We know about Gylfi Sigurdsson. He always seems to have a good game against us. He's a good talent, very talented player. You give him time on the ball.
Mm.
They'll be looking to get free kicks outside the box, and he's going to be looking to take them. So he's a key player for them. One we've definitely got to watch out for today.
Yeah, absolutely. He's always been a good player, Gylfi. He had a bit of a poxy time at Tottenham, and then since he's joined Everton, he's gone above and beyond. He's a good player, Gylfi Sigurdsson, and as you say, set piece, dead ball specialist. As you see there, all 4 of his key passes have led to goals. So he's definitely one we've got to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can go back to his Swansea days. He was a great player then, and he's just been around for so long now, and he's definitely one we've got to watch out for. And the second player I've gone for is his midfield partner, Allen. 19 games, 16 interceptions, tackles 61, success 56, clearances 16, no goals though. Surprised with that when I see that stat.
He's a good player, Alan. Go on, I'll let you go.
No, go on, mate. Yeah, go on, jump in.
No, I mean he plays that sort of more of a deeper role, doesn't he?
The holding, yeah.
The holder role, yeah. So I'm not surprised too much with goals. He can pop up with a goal every now and then. I watched him a lot in Italy last year. I thought he was a good player. It's someone that we've been linked to in the past. We've been lucky with Tommy Soucek and coming into our midfield, not being injured and all of that sort of thing. So yeah, he's good at breaking up the play, but there can get space in between him. He's had a good season, but he's not had a stellar season.
No, you bang on there. He's definitely one that he's going to sit. He's probably going to be one that's going to be dropping in, trying to pick up Lingard today, and probably Lanzini, one of them type of players, try to man mark him. But the next player we've gone for is Richarlison. 29 games this season, 6 goals, 68 shots, accuracy 40%, big chances missed 9. He's had a bit of a up and down season, really, hasn't he? Because when he first signed for Everton, I remember he proper hit the ground running. He's a good player, Richarlison. He was linked with Barcelona when he was close to joining Barcelona in the was it the last transfer window or the one before that? I think it was deadline day, wasn't it? They was linked with him, and he's just one of them players that on his day he can be a world beater, but then sometimes he looks like he don't want to be on the pitch. He's one of them type of players.
He is one of them, and that's why I put the big chances missed in. He can go missing, but with when he's on his game, he's on his game. I think the game before last he scored against us in the Carling Cup. I think it was. Was that this season or last season? I can't even remember.
It was this season, wasn't it? 4-1.
Yeah, and you've got to look back at that game. They was deadly in that game, Everton. We got ourselves back in it. Team picking of the team and all of that was the debate that night. But they in the end they run riot Everton, and that's what we've got to stop. And he was a catalyst for a lot of it, Richarlison. And you've got to, you just got to stop him from running at you. If he runs at you and he gets in them little spaces, he's a tricky customer. And with Calvert-Lewin drifting around, he's always dangerous. He's always dangerous.
Yeah, the thing is with Richarlison, he likes to sort of drop out on the left or on the right and wait for that ball so he can cut inside and create something.
He likes drifting in.
Yeah, he's definitely, as we said, mate, they're all one to watch. But these, the next player I've got coming up is probably, the one, Calvert-Lewin, 28 games, 15 goals, headed goal 7, right foot 7, left foot 1, shot 69, accuracy 55%. England international now. What a player! I really rate this boy. He's a top striker, and you said it. He started off the season so bright, got into the good goal scoring form, but then he's just found himself, the last few weeks, few games, he just hasn't been himself. But look, he's definitely one we've got to watch out for. On his day, he will score goals.
Yeah, he is. And as I said before, I put the headed stats in there because he scored nearly as many goals with his head as he has with his feet. He's obviously deadly on his right foot, and he's deadly with his head. And that's where we've got to be on our game tonight. I believe we're playing 4 at the back. I'm trying to work out the formation.
It'd be like we're playing sort of like a 4-2-3-1 with Souček and Lanzini sitting behind Fornals, Lingard, and Benrahma.
So getting them crosses out, cutting them crosses out from the wingers, not giving him too much time because he, as I said, he can get caught underneath the ball. His positioning can be a little bit ropey at times, so we've got to keep an eye on him because if he gets a chance, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he'll score. He's that good a player, but he has gone off the ball a little bit. Again, getting into the crux of the season now. There are certain players as well, and Calvert-Lewin will be one of them that's got his eye on the England spot. Playing in the Euros and things like that. And again, don't want to wear yourself out. Don't want to get injured. Don't want to miss out because he's forced himself with good form into that England setup at the moment. He's obviously want to make sure he's getting on the plane and not be injured for them Euros. And that again, like, people are going to say like you're talking nonsense, but that again, it does play on players' minds. It does, because it's a huge tournament, and if he doesn't take the chance now, he may never get to take the chance. And the form he's been in, he's been one of the
Well, listen. Dawson and Diop are going to have their hands full today with him, and Richarlison as well, floating around. So these boys, our back 4 have got to be spot on today. They've got to be up for this game. Everyone's got to be up for this game, but especially the back 4 today. They've got to be concentrating. No mistakes, no silly balls. Just do the right things. Nothing too silly. But what we'll do now is. Oh, by the way, hello everyone in the chat. I'm not ignoring you. We just went straight into it today. We will get to you in a minute. We'll interact with you in a little while. So save all your thoughts for the game, and then we'll get your score predictions and everything like that. But what we'll do now, before we sort of concentrate on West Ham and look at some graphics that Nicky's done for a couple of our players, we're going to go through a few of the stats. This is my favourite time, the stat man. Scott usually sings stat man, Nick. So do you want to do that?
I'm a stat man.
Yeah, right. So West Ham won the reverse fixture 1-0 and are looking to complete their first league double over Everton since the 1972-73 season. We haven't got a good record against Everton, have we? They're a bogey team for us. Everton's solitary defeat in their past 12 Premier League away games against West Ham come in 2018. They've won 7 and drawn 4.
What? At our place?
In the last 12 Premier League away games at West Ham.
Okay. Jesus.
Today's game will be the 50th top flight meeting between the sides. Everton hold the all-time edge, winning 26 of the previous 49 meetings with 13 draw and just 10 victories for West Ham. As I said, mate, bogey team of ours. West Ham have only kept 1 clean sheet in their past 8 league games. This is a better stat. I like these stats. West Ham have won 17 top flight fixtures this season, their highest total since the 1985-86 season. West Ham have won 11 of their 18 league games in 2021. It's been a great this year. The start since New Year's, and we started it against Everton, didn't we? It was a 1-0 victory on New Year's Day at Everton. So the points we've picked up this year, it's been mental. Mikel Antonio has 9 top flight goals this season and could become the 5th West Ham player to reach double figures in consecutive Premier League seasons. I don't know what to make about that stat. I'm happy for Antonio, but I wish we just had more top goal scorers. We've never had
4 players in the history that have ever made double figures twice.
I know, man.
In the Premier League.
I think John Hartson was 2 of them, I think.
Jesus Christ.
Mental, mate. Everton have won just 1 of their past 7 Premier League games, drawing 3 and losing 3. Everton have equalled their club record of 8 home defeats in a top flight season, previously set in 96-97 and 2015-16 seasons. This is a stat that worries me coming up now. 10 of their 15 victories this season have come away from Goodison Park. So they are decent on the road.
They are good at away. Yeah, they are good. They're better away than
Everton could keep 3 consecutive clean sheets in away games for the first time since 2015. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has scored 20 goals in a season for the first time in his career, but has only netted 4 times in his past 17 league appearances. Could you imagine how many goals he'd have now if he still had a little bit of form in them 17 games?
Yeah.
Crazy. He's as we touched on a little while ago, he's a great player. Let's hope that he don't find his form today, though. Our biggest home Premier League victory over Everton was the 3-1 win at the London Stadium on the final day of the 2017-18 season. Manuel Lanzini scored 2 goals that day. So let's hope that, he finds his scoring boots today and gets on the score sheet.
He likes the game against Everton, Lanzini. Yeah. He plays well against them. Well against them.
And as we always do, we'll give him a little mention. The match officials today, the referee is Stuart Atwell. His assistant referees are Dan Cook and Simon Long. The 4th official is Craig Paulson. On VAR today is Darren England, and his assistant is Peter Kirkup. The 38-year-old has refereed West Ham 13 times in total since March 2009. And Stuart Atwell today will referee West Ham for the 3rd time in the Premier League this season, having taken charge of the 2-0 home defeat by Newcastle and the 3-2 victory at Crystal Palace this season. So yeah, that's today's stats, mate. So let's get into West Ham. How are we going to win this game today, mate? Where's it going to be won and lost for us?
I think intensity. It's got to be intensity. Just start like you did against Burnley. As you finish against Burnley, we were rampant the other night. We just didn't take our chances. But we were creating all sorts of chances. Mikel Antonio, he causes a lot of trouble, causes a lot of defenders and they've got defenders there like Mina, who he can get at. I like Mina. Mina's a good defender, but the physicality of Antonio, he could give them all sorts of trouble there. Lingard running in, cutting in, getting some shots away. Look, he's an England goalkeeper, but I'm not a massive Pickford fan, and he makes a lot of mistakes for me. Get shots away.
What do they call him? Tyrannosaurus Rex arms, don't they?
Yeah. Like putting them, you put him in the corners and that he don't tend to get them. He's got lots of mistakes in them. So get some shots away. Test the goalkeeper early. The midfield, I think the midfield will be good, but the game's going to be won in midfield for me, because they've got some good midfielders, Everton, but we've got some good midfielders as well. So
I like the lineup with Souček and Lanzini, because I think they worked really well together the other night, and Lanzini having that deeper role sort of suited his game a bit more, because we've grown up, but we ain't had him that long, but we've seen Lanzini over since we signed him. We know what he's like. He's one of these players that like to get forward, get on the ball, score goals, create goals. But as he's getting older, he's had his injuries as well. Maybe that deeper role might suit him.
Yeah, I liked him in the deeper role, because I think he gives you energy, and I think that's where we've lacked without Declan in the midfield is his energy. Like Nobes, I love him. He just hasn't got it in him. And I think he's 35 yesterday, wasn't he? Yeah. He's getting on a little bit. He's never been the quickest player, and he's never had the most.
Just going on that, mate? Did you see that video of the players when they threw the flour and eggs over him? But do you know what? It's good to see the squad spirit at the moment at West Ham. They're all, they was all singing. What was it? Another one bites the dust, and all the players are together, and it's just that togetherness, and it's something we've been lacking at West Ham the last few seasons.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I love it, because you hear about, and I've heard personally, privately, about sort of changing room divides in the past, and the likes of, I won't say their names, but a lot of players didn't want to get involved with other players, and there was sort of like 2-3 different sort of cliques in the changing room and all of that sort of thing. But to see, the captain, and he took it well. He's getting involved.
I'll be honest, mate. The more worrying video I see yesterday was the one I showed you that Andy Carroll put up when Mark Noble was sort of dancing in his pants and a big pair of shoes, and that was a bit worrying, that video.
Yeah,
do you know what? It just shows that they're down to earth players. You know, they're enjoying themselves at the moment. And listen, they can do what they want as long as they're performing on the pitch. I don't care what they do off it.
But I think it shows a good togetherness, and I think Declan Rice is a big part of that togetherness in that squad. I think him and Lingard, they've really hit it off.
Funny enough, you saying about Declan Rice, mate. I see an interview with David Moyes earlier, and he said that he was talking about the squad spirit. He said they're always up to no good, and as he was doing the interview, he see Declan Rice walk past the window, and he's turned away straight away, and he said he's probably going to do something now, something stupid. Like that, he said, "I love to see it. I love to see it."
Yeah, but it's great team. It's great camaraderie. We've had a tough time over the last year, and that includes footballers. You know, as much money they've got. You know, I know a couple of them have broke lockdown laws and all that, but our boys have kept pretty clean. But you know, we've had a tough time over the last year or so. You know, mental health is taking a big dip over the country. So to see the boys in there having fun and having a laugh and a joke and team spirit high is, you can lose your fucking mind not being able to go out. I've definitely lost it at times. You know what I mean? Me and you had a chat a couple of weeks ago. You meant to make sure I was all right because I wasn't quite myself. But that's what happens. It just that's what happens when you can't go out. So to see the boys laughing, joking, enjoying themselves. It's only going to be, as long as they don't take it too far and start fucking about on the pitch or fucking about the days before games and when it does open again, start pissing off out like in the old days, like the Redknapp days when they used to piss off out up the pub. But yeah, it only reflects well in the team. It only reflects well.
100%, mate. You've done a couple of graphics for a couple of players that you picked out. The first one I'm going to go is one player that's, he's only recently come back from injury. He's up there for me and for contention for one of the hammers of the year. It's Aaron Creswell. 32 games, 7 assists. His crosses, he's improved so much on his crossing this season. 179. His accuracy is 28%. Big chances created as well, 17. That's a massive stat there. That's where his improvement has come this season, especially.
He's played a lot of it at centre back. Which this is why I picked out them stats. He's picked a lot of. He's played a lot of them games at centre back, and that's where when he was missing. That's where when he went down. I think people are, he's sort of a, what's the word? He's an unsung hero really because he's a big part of the way we play. His energy in that, and I'll be honest with you, Ryan, and I've said it about many things. I've been wrong many times. I thought he was finished at West Ham. I think he was going under the last few managers. He was going stale. He was only declining. And I thought to myself, at times I didn't want to see him in the side and all that. But he is a huge part, whether he's playing at left back or centre back, is a huge part of our resurgence. And he's great as a centre back. He was great as a centre back under Moyes. But when he plays left back and all that, but it's his overlapping. He's I think someone's just said in it. He's rejuvenated. He's overlapping. He's crossing. His delivery is pinpoint at times.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing player. We've been very happy. We've been very lucky to keep him for as long as we had, and we was probably lucky he did have a dip in form a couple of years ago because there was big boys sniffing around for him. But Aaron Cresswell's He's so important this season. He's so important. It's going to be tough to get Hammer of the Year for him because there's so many more standout players. Yeah. There's so many standout players apart from him. But for me, he's up there. If he's not number one, he's number two for me.
As you said, unsung hero. He just gets on with his job, and as you said, he can slip into that back three. He can play on the left. But what I've been impressed with so much so far this season is his delivery. He's the way he just whips it in. Sometimes he don't even think about it. It's just straight out of his feet, bang, get it in now. Even when he takes corners now, he's improved so much. And he's definitely a key play for us. And he's going to be.
I think he's one of them players, and I won't go too much into it, right? But we've heard some stories about Aaron in the old days. You know, when he's not motivated, he can be a bit of a, you know, he's not gonna take it upon himself sometimes to, you know, he's got to feel motivated to get going at times. You know what I mean? Like he can be a little bit lazy and all of that sort of thing. But I think with the squad the way it is, everyone working hard for each other, I think he always reflects what's going on in the side. You know, if there's no energy in the side, I don't think you get a very good Aaron Cresswell. But if you've got energy and the team's playing well, you know, he's one of them. Look, I'm chucking things like I can see people who thought he was a good pro. I'm just going by what stories I've heard. I don't know him personally. I liked him. I've always liked him. But yeah, I think he reflects the mood.
Definitely. He's been a great servant for West Ham, and long may it continue. But the next player we've picked out today is the player that we all want to see get on the score sheet. He's back in the starting lineup again today after he started against Burnley the other night. He's Saïd Benrahma, 26 games this season, 12 starts, 5 assists, no goals, big chances created, 8. He divides opinion, Benrahma, in the fan base, but look, I'm a big fan of Benrahma, and I'm glad he's starting today. And I think the only thing that he's missing from his game is a goal. That's what he needs. I think once he gets his first goal, I think you'll see a different Benrahma. At the moment, there's times where he panics, he overplays. You know, he shoots. What was the game? Chelsea, when he was outside the box, there was a couple minutes to go, and he decided to shoot from 30 yards. You know, that's someone who's desperate to get on the score sheet. But yeah, he divides opinions, but I'm glad he's starting today, and I really hope that he can get his first goal today.
Well, I picked him out especially, right, because I've been one of his critics. I'm not, you know, I've been one of them people. I'm not having him at times. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like the way he loses the ball. I think he's quite naive in the way he tries to keep the ball at times, you know, against certain sides. But there has been a few times this season where he's shown absolute glimpses of genius, which we all know he can do. I think the Leeds game when he came in, I think he was absolutely excellent. The first one, I thought he was absolutely excellent, and we haven't really seen him at his best until again last week. And I think he was magnificent last week. And I'm his biggest critic, you know. But I like to see exciting players like him. What I do like to see, however, is, you know, with the tricks and the flicks and everything else, I like to see a bit of end product with it. And you know, he is starting to show that. His cross last week for Antonio's second goal was world class.
Yeah, he was unlucky. He was unlucky against Burnley a couple of times.
And it was, you know, the shot just after that. He was, you know, he was very close to getting his first goal. He will get it at some point. It doesn't seem Moyes having him, which is, you know, at the end of the day, whether fans like him or don't like him, you know, impressing the manager's the most important thing. So for him to put trust in him again, he must have done something right.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And as you said, you know, Moyes has trusted him today again. But I like the way Benrahma sort of links up with Fornals, Lingard, Lanzini. When he's played this season, Benrahma, you know, he started games. I think we've only lost one game when he started, you know. So he was finding a little bit of form under David Moyes, and then he sort of found himself out of the team and he struggled to get back in. He was getting 10, 15 minutes here or there. And that's when players like that, they sort of panic, don't they? And they feel like they have to score goals to sort of make sure they're starting next week. But no, I think David Moyes said, I mean, do you know what? I'm surprised. I really thought that maybe Bowen would have started today.
Yeah.
Just for his work rate, I thought maybe we might have seen Benrahma miss out and Bowen come in. But fair play to Moyes. As we said the other night, he's got 4 cup finals left. You got to go for it. You got to go for it. There's no point sitting back now. You just got to go for it and put out your best players and just go for it.
I think we've got. I think anyone can step into that 11. You know, Bowen can step in. Obviously, Rice steps back in and all that. There's a lot of players that can step into that 11. So I don't think it's just about the 11, but just, with that confidence, it's not even about performances now. It's about results.
Exactly.
All we've got to do is get the results. And what is the point in now? Start tinkering with a winning side. You got three games left after this one today. Just keep that momentum going. I think the momentum against Burnley was a good one. Just keep it going. If it's not working, you can always bring Bowen on. But I wouldn't be chopping and changing at the minute. If we win today, again next week I'd say the same thing. Don't chop and change. Which is, I'm not so surprised I didn't see Bowen this week, because Bowen hit a bit of form as well. But he's put his faith in Ben Ryan, which is massive, because he likes Bowen. He really likes Bowen's work rate. Moisey, you know what I mean? So he's put a bit of faith in the boy. Let's see the boy. As I say before, I see someone in the comments there saying he's quality. You're talking stupid, Nick, and all of that. I'm just, look, my opinion's my opinion. Everyone's got a different of opinion. He is a good player. I just think he's a little bit naive at times with the way, he loses the ball. And again, against Chelsea, I was berating him because that 40-yard, we had players out wide that we could have got one last chance on, and he's shooting from 40 yards. I think he's a little bit naive. But last week, I was really impressed by him. And I really, I was hoping, because I was thinking the same thing about Bowen. I was thinking, do you know what? He might drop him out and all that. So I'm happy that he's got another chance. Let's just carry on that momentum. Let's carry on that momentum and let him play. And not only let him play, but let him start building up confidence and stuff like that. As I said, we've got 3 games left. He doesn't drop out for me. He played well last week. At this stage of the season, he doesn't drop out.
Yeah, the thing is as well, as we touched on, he hasn't scored any goals this season. But sometimes it's not always about goals. We love to see players score, but look, if he scores the winning goal that puts us in the top 4, then that goal is more important than him not scoring any other goals. You know what I mean, this season. So, let's hope that he can find a bit of goal scoring form. But I'm looking forward to seeing him link up with Lingard and Fornals today. One player that I'm really looking forward to watching today, and I backed him to score on Friday Night Pint, is Thomas Souček. He hasn't been in great goal scoring form lately, but he's still effective in both boxes, in midfield. I think last weekend, or it might have been the weekend before, he won the most headers in the Premier League, more than most teams, just on his own, individual. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. I'm looking forward to seeing him and Lanzini play together again. It's going to be an interesting game today. Interesting game.
It's just, it is going to be an interesting one. Are you nervous?
Yeah, do you know what, mate? I'm always nervous for every West Ham game, but when there's something to play for, especially going for the top 4. I mean, when you look at West Ham, the last 5 games, 1-3, lost 2. Everton down in 8th, and they've drawn 3, 1-1, lost 1. So, if you're looking on form, we're the better team at the moment, and it's one of these games that I see it a bit like the Chelsea game. It's one of them games that we could slip up in. Everton are decent on the road and they are a bogey team for us. But I don't know. I just think today I'm going to stick to my guns and I'm going for a 2-0 win. And I'm not saying that's going to be an easy 2-0 win. I could see us getting an early goal, sitting back, Everton battering us, and then we just nick another late goal and see out the game. But, Everton on their day, they could beat us. It's one of them games that I'm excited to watch it. As a neutral, I'd be buzzing to watch this. 2 teams going for it. But when it's your team involved, but I'd rather be going into a game nervous like this than going into a relegation battle. Let me tell you that.
No, absolutely.
You nervous? You looking forward to it?
I don't get nervous because, as I say before, I get nervous for relegation battles, but they're far surpassed I've been saying this for weeks now, they're far surpassed my expectations this season. So whatever comes now is a bonus. Listen, I want to go away to Bayern Munich or Barcelona or Real Madrid and all that. I want to see Mark Noble at the Bernabeu, at the San Siro, whatever it is. I want to see all of that, mate. But if it don't happen, it don't happen. It's a pipe dream. But let's see what happens. Let's get into these last 4 games. As long as we're playing well and we give it a good go, I'm fully behind the boys. There's been no passengers this season. There's been no one sort of like looking around and expecting someone else to pick up the pieces. They've all done their bit, and I'm proud of the boys this season.
Oh yeah, 100%. I said, look, whatever happens now in these last 4 games, I'm proud of these boys this season. The effort from the management team, the players, every player that's been left out and then come in to do a job, never let us down. No one's kicked off this season. There's a good team spirit at the moment, and I mean, we haven't even mentioned him yet, but Jesse Lingard, what an important player he's been for us since he's come in, and today. You know, last week he was a bit quiet, I thought, against Burnley. Still effective, still creating things, but just, you know, but we can't expect him to be 10 out of 10 every week, 9 out of 10. You know, he is going to have not an off game, but he's not going to be like the Jesse Lingard that hit the ground running straight away every week. But listen, he's still a massive player for us, and I really hope that in the summer we can convince him to join us permanently, because I think what we're building at West Ham under David Moyes is fantastic, and long may it continue.
Yeah, I agree.
Totally. Let's get into the live chat. Let's get some of your thoughts. So give us your thoughts on today's game. Do you think we're going to win? Give us your score predictions. Let's have a little look here. Ken Hammers is saying my nerves will be shredded by the end of this game. Alan saying funny thing, Leicester versus Spurs last game of the season, that could be massive. Neymar walking down Stratford would be amazing. Yeah, hopefully it's not the old Stratford High Street. He wouldn't know where he was. The Westfield side.
Someone jack him.
Let's have a look here. 97 Sam, reckon Benny can last a whole 90 minutes since he's fasting. Yeah, that's a key point as well. You know, he is fasting at the moment. But let's hope, you know, that if he does come off, let's hope that when he's on the pitch, let's hope that he's effective and makes things happen. Peter Singh saying this is the biggest match since the playoff final. Do you agree with that, Nick?
No, I think relegation scraps are more important. It's a massive game, don't get me wrong, but when you've got a win to stay in the league, because at times, mate, you know, you worry about us going down, because if we go down, we could be one of them teams like, fuck it, look at Derby. You know, they've been borderline Premier League. They nearly went down again. They scraped it by the skin of their teeth against, you know, sort of Sheffield Wednesday. So we could definitely be one of them teams, especially with the owners we've got. So, I don't. There's been some games over the last couple of years where, you know, they was really must-win games. This is a must-win game, but it's all for the progression rather than the regression, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I'm just trying to plug it.
That's right, mate. Go on, you're setting up for the watch-along. You'll be handing over to you in a minute. Mick B's going for an uneasy 2-1 to us. Phil Brown's going 2-1. Christian saying massive game today. Simon Mass is saying 2-1. A lot of 2-1s in here. Here we go. 3-1, lads. Nervous about Diop, though. Yeah, I hope Diop's on top form today. I really do. Really, really do.
He's got to be. He's got to be. I don't think he can afford to not be against this sort of opposition. I mean, he went to sleep last week a little bit. I think for the first goal, a defender of his what's meant to be of his quality shouldn't be getting skinned like that in his own box for a start. He ball watches too much for me at times, you know, and you can't afford to do that against Everton, because you see last week, you know, Burnley missed a couple of big chances. Although we had all the chances and we missed our chances, they missed a couple of big chances. I think Wood put one wide, you know, which I think would have swung the momentum their way. It just gets, you get caught ball watching today. They've got enough quality to make you pay, and yeah, he's got to be on the game today. The thing is, when he's on his game, he's brilliant.
Yeah. No, I agree, mate. Peter Singh, love the profile picture, by the way, Johnny Lyle. I need a double whiskey to calm my nerves. I think I might have a little cheeky one, you know. Christian Sam, Richarlison and Creswell should be a good battle today if they play him on the right. Yeah, that'll be a good battle, them two. Marcus is saying 3-1 to West Ham. Billy's going 3-1 win. Come on, you Irons. Mark saying, come on, West Ham, we can do this. If we can win the World Cup, we can win this. Yeah, that's true. That's true. James E saying, I'm glad I had the Chinese I cooked earlier and not now. Otherwise, it'd come back up, lads. Yeah, there's a lot of nerves out there. Look, 3-0 West Ham, Ben Rama scoring, Antonio scoring, Lingard, and a Rabona assist by Joe Cole. Don't start with that Rabona. Bloody hell. That's doing my head in now.
He's been told this week that we've got no way of finding it. He's even been told by West Ham. West Ham have come back to him. We tried to help him. He's been told by West Ham, look, we ain't
send him the Rabona he done against Coventry in the Youth Cup final.
Right, it's getting that bad, mate. I'm thinking of hiring Joe Colt at the weekend to do it in his garden.
Yeah, and I'll wear a Derby shirt so I can pretend I'm a Derby player. John McCarthy saying, Ryan, your fan club says 2-1. He's going for 4-2. Duncan B, 3-1 today, West Ham. There's a lot of people in here going for a West Ham win today, mate. A lot of nervous and confident. Well, I say that. Shy is saying 4-2 to Everton. That's yeah, look, it could happen. Shy, you could be right, but let's hope you're wrong. This is the one I like. 4-0, Fabianski hat-trick. That's what we want to see. That's what we'll all love to see. I don't think Ben Ryan will be happy if a goalkeeper gets more goals than him this season. There's a couple of draws coming in now. Charlie's saying 2-0 West Ham.
A draw wouldn't be the end of the world.
No, I agree. As long as we don't lose today, there's still a chance. If we lose, Man United won today. That's sort of secured them second place now. Chelsea, that was a massive win for Chelsea yesterday. I really didn't see that coming. I hope they get a good hiding in the Champions League final now. And obviously, the lesser result on Friday, it just shows this is so open this season. And hopefully, mate, we can sneak into it. But I think we're wrapped out there, mate, so I can let you get ready for the watch along. So thank you so much for joining me, mate. Thank you so much for everyone watching us live, joining us in the chat, giving us your score predictions. It's a massive game. While you're here, stay on the channel. Nicky's going to head over to his watch along now. It'll be the same setup. Dan will be joining. Danny's joining you today, isn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah, so it'll be Nicky and Dan taking you through the ups and downs, twists and turns of the 90 minutes. West Ham, we're just under 10 minutes from kickoff, so we'll let you all go, get your drinks, watch the game, watch the watch along, and we will see you after for fan cams and post-match points. So, Nick, one thing left to say, mate.
I want to do something before we go.
Go on then, mate.
Because I haven't done this all season.
Go on. You ain't going to strip, are you?
Forever blowing bubbles. Pretty bubbles in the air. United.
How are you, Iron?
That's what I'll be doing at the London Stadium right now. But one thing left to say.
Before we say that, one thing left to say. Congratulations once again to Scott and Samantha on the birth of their baby boy. And we'll leave it there, mate. One thing left to say.
Come on, you.